Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to be making a few cards with our Sugar and Spice Holidays stamp set and dies and more. So without further ado, let's get started and let's make some fun holiday cards. We're going to go ahead and turn our mini ink machine on and put it on number 3. That's what I suggest starting out with for our foils and foilables. We've got 3 fun cards to make here today. I'm going to get started. We're using the Sugar and Spice Holidays stamp set, which is a 2x6 stamp set with some adorable little gingerbread men. We're also going to be using some other items, just our Cozy Winter paper pad, our Christmas sentiments, foilable cut-ups, and some other items as well. So we're going to go ahead and foil our sentiment that says Gingerbread Kisses and Christmas Wishes. I'm just going to quickly brush off the foilable and the foil with our foil dusting brush, just to make sure there's no dust on there to get in between the foil and the foilable. I'm going to place the foilable in the transfer folder and the foil on top, pretty side up. Just make sure on the back that we've got everything covered like we want. And then we can run it through the ink machine with the folded side going in first, nice, straight, and even. While that goes through, I'm going to go ahead. I've got a scalloped rectangle cut out of our moss cardstock, and I'm going to adhere that down to the card base. On top of that, I have a piece of plaid from our Cozy Winter paper pad. I've got 2 circles cut, which is where our little gingerbread men are going to live. I'm going to glue them down. I used the layered circle dies for these. I cut one out of white cardstock and one out of our Evening Clouds, which is a nice lavender. I'm going to go ahead and glue this to the plaid piece. It's kind of in the upper left corner. I've got 2 strips of paper. The first one is about 1 1/4 inches, and it's out of our white holographic cardstock pack. It's got this beautiful glittery holographic look to it, but it's all white, so it's really pretty. And then from the Cozy Winter paper pack, I cut a strip about 3/4 inch of this blue with white snowflakes. I'll put that white right in the center of the white holographic piece, and then I'll adhere both of these onto that plaid background. Just like so. Now I have some twine. This is our Evening Clouds twine, and I've got 6 pieces cut, 3 of which I'm going to wrap around our strips here at the bottom. So I just put some adhesive on the back where I want them. to stay. I simply lay them across and wrap them around the back into that adhesive. And now we're ready to adhere this piece to our card. Here's our card so far. I like that little sparkle of that white holographic cardstock on there. Now we can remove our foiled piece. I love the peel and reveal. There we've got gingerbread kisses and Christmas wishes. And look at that, I did get a little black fleck there on the S. But I want to show you a little way we can correct that. Hey, it happens. You've watched all my foiling videos. Doesn't happen very often. I usually get perfect to pretty close to perfect foiling. And every now and then, this can happen to any of us. Just something interfering with the foil adhering to that toner. You can try to run it back through, but I like to help the process by using a glaze jelly roll pen, and we sell these on our site. I'm going to get it started on the back so that I know that it's writing, and I'm just going to put some ink in that spot that was missed. I'm using the black one, but we do have clear and white as well. And they are nice gel pens for writing with also. Glazed pens have a raised finish, so they almost look like heat embossing when you write with them. So once that ink is dry, I'm going to put this back in the folder. And I'm going to lay the foil over it. I just need to make sure that piece is covered. I don't have to worry about the rest of it. So I've got a little piece of foil over where that ink is. And we'll just run it back through the ink machine. Even if you get a little black fleck that shows here and there is a way to correct it and fix it. Just know that it shouldn't be the norm of your foiling, but it's something that can happen from time to time. And you don't have to worry about covering up your piece that's already been foiled because the foil is already adhered there. Nothing is going to stick to your folder. All right, let's get that out of the way. And now we have our gingerbread kisses and Christmas wishes. I'm going to use a little foam adhesive to adhere these to the card. So I've got my giant roll of foam tape. Our foam tape comes with 108 feet. 108 feet of foam tape on them. I love it because it cuts easily with the scissors. It's not too thick that you can't send it through the mail. And the release paper is very easy to remove. Going to add our sentiment right down here. And then I also have some foam tape for our gingerbread men. The little piece to spare, maybe we'll use it on another card. It's kind of a non-traditional colored Christmas card, but I think it's super sweet. So I'm going to add our little gingerbread men. Just right there in the circle. So sweet. And then I'm going to take the rest of our twine and we're going to wrap it underneath or push it underneath the twine that's on the card already. Pull it on through. And we're just going to tie a simple knot. And then all we have left to do is to cut the excess ends. And I like to kind of mess with my twine a little bit with my fingers, just kind of fray those ends and move them around just so they look a little fluffier. And then there's our card, Gingerbread Kisses and Christmas Wishes with two adorable little gingerbread men. For our next card, we're going to make a Slimline card. So I'm using one of our pre-scored Slimline card bases. Love those because they're already pre-cut and scored, the perfect size for our card. If you're anything like me, I hate to cut and score a card base because you know you want it to be nice, straight, and even. And I just never can seem to get it nice, straight, and even on my own. Okay, so I'm using one of our foilable backgrounds from one of our foilable kits. I was trying to remember which kit this is from, and I think it might be from an Easter kit actually, but I just really liked this fun border with the scallops and the dotted lines, the dash lines. I thought it was really cute. And we're going to foil it with our Sparkle Gold, which is a real glitzy, glittery gold with little stars. I got it a little bit longer than I need it, so I'm going to cut a little bit off the end here. And we can save that piece for a sentiment or a foilable cut up or something like that. Definitely use it for something. But then you may be wondering, well, Michelle, how do you foil a longer panel when our transfer folders are only 6 1/4 inches long? Well, at pinkandmane.com we sell the large mink folders. So it comes with a couple of folders, and one of them is really large. It's like 12 by 14 inches. So I cut them in half, so I get a 6-inch wide folder, and then I cut some of the length off as well. So I have about a 9-inch long folder. So if you get the large mink folders, don't think that you can't use them in your mini mink machine, because you can simply cut them in half and then cut some of the length off. If you're going to do longer things and you want 12 inches, you can definitely leave that 12-inch length. I just get impatient and I don't want to wait for all those extra inches to go through my machine. And I typically don't foil anything that's 12 inches. So as you can see, this fits our Slimline panel perfectly. So when you're putting the longer folder in, you definitely want to make sure you get it nice, straight, and even. If it's crooked a little bit, it's going to fold up on one side as it goes through crooked. So make sure you get it straight going in there. And this is just our regular mini mink transfer folder. But you can definitely take those larger mink folders and cut them in half and make longer folders for longer panels that you want to foil. Because you can also, our foilable sheets are 8.5 by 5.5, so you could foil a whole foilable sheet in one of these longer folders. Because typically what you don't want to do is put this long piece in the short folder and run it through, and then you've got all this paper and foil down here that's exposed, and you don't want it to accidentally get caught in a roller and roll in there and mess up your machine. So you definitely want to have everything within a transfer folder. But as I mentioned, this is just one of the large folders cut in half, so it's 6 inches wide, and then I cut it a little bit, a few inches off the end, so that it's 9 inches instead of 12. All right, we let this cool off just a bit, so now we'll peel and reveal. Oh my goodness, how pretty and sparkly is that? And remember, you can definitely use this negative foil piece on a solid toner sheet, and I have lots of videos where I show you how to use your negative foil pieces on solid toner sheets. So here's our beautiful panel, all sparkly and gold, and I've cut a piece of our stop sign red cardstock so this can layer on top of it. So we'll adhere this to the cardstock. There we go, and now we can adhere this to the card base. Do you make slimline cards? I know they're a little different and it's a different surface area to have to fill, but sometimes it's nice to challenge yourself and step outside the box, you could say, and make a card that's just a little bit different. So now that we have our foiled panel on here, it's super sparkly. I love it. I've got some stitch circles cut out of moss cardstock as well as the stop sign for the middle. And then I've also got a scallop circle to go behind the stop sign one in the middle to really make that one pop. So we're going to adhere them to the card like so. I'm just going to start with one end. I'm going to center it and put it towards the bottom, like that. And then I'm going to go to the other end and I'm going to match where I put that first one. About that far away in the center. And then let's adhere our stop sign stitch circle to the scallop circle. So cute. I love that. And I'm going to turn my card this way, and I'm going to center that circle in the middle, and I just eyeball it. There we go. So here's our card so far. I love that shine of that background. And then we have our 3 adorable gingerbread men to add on to those circles. And I've got the sentiment, Sweet Christmas Wishes, that I'm going to add either there. I like it down here a little better. I'll go ahead and add that on. Just right in between these 2 circles, and I'm putting it all the way out to the edge. There we go, Sweet Christmas Wishes. I've only got 1 piece of foam tape there, so I need to cut a little bit more. I'll cut that up so I have plenty of pieces. Let's put it on backs of our gingerbread people. And again, I just kind of stick these to the very edge of my mini ink machine there, and I've got them to use later. So now let's add the gingerbread. And there we go. What a sweet card. Super simple to put together. It's got that wow factor of that foiled background, but another sweet gingerbread card. Gingerbread are so cute for the holidays, don't you think? All right, for our last card, got a little more foiling to do, so let's pull that out and do it first. I've got a piece of glitzy gold. So it's a nice glittery gold, similar to the sparkle gold, except this one doesn't have the stars in the background. It just has that glittery look. Really like that one. It's one of my favorites. We have glitzy silver too. Those are probably my 2 favorites, gold and silver. I just dusted off our panel, which I've cut. Our little foilable background. And I just need our regular transfer folder this time. I believe that background is from our Merry and Bright foilable kit. And then I also have some hearts that are from the Cute Christmas foilable cut-ups. They're just pre-cut, ready to foil pieces. So I pulled out 3 hearts. And once our panel goes through, we will foil those with our cherry red foil. We will pull this out and let it cool off. And while that cools, we will foil our hearts. When I'm foiling small pieces, I like to do it upside down so I can see that nothing is overlapping and that everything is covered with the foil like I want. I'll support the folder with my hand underneath as it goes through so none of those pieces move around. Now that that's going through, let's peel and reveal our foilable panel. There we go. Nice and sparkly with that glitzy gold. And I love all those little Christmas icons in that. And there's the little hearts too, so the hearts coordinate. Now, one thing I will say is I recommend you foil before you die cut. If you can see along the edge up here, especially if I hold it a certain way, see little tiny bits of black, and that's in the stitching part of the die. So because I die cut this first, the foil has a hard time going down into those indentations where the stitching effect is. So you definitely want to foil the panel first and then die cut it, and you won't have that problem at all. But it's not a problem to me because it actually looks really nice. It's super sparkly, and I'm going to leave it like that. We could fix it like we did in the first card with that glaze gel pen, but I just don't think it's hardly noticeable. Now that we've done all of our foiling, I'm going to go ahead and turn the ink machine off. I'm going to peel and reveal our beautiful cherry red hearts. Those came out flawless. Look how beautiful. Well, let's start to put our card together. For our card, I'm using our Layered Scallops A2 dies. And what this does is it cuts these bumpy pieces, and you cut two out, and you cut them out of two different colors, because when you layer them together, you get that alternating colored scallops. Isn't that fun? So we are going to adhere these together. I've cut them out of some of our glitter cardstock in red and green, because you can never have too much sparkle and shine on your card, especially at the holidays. Next up, I'm going to adhere our foiled panel. There we go. Super sparkly, shiny. Love that little glitter scallops around. Let's go ahead and adhere this to our card base. It fits perfectly on your A2 card with just a little white border around it. Next up, I've taken one of our stitched diamond dies and cut it out of our on the green cardstock. It's going to be kind of our focal point for our gingerbread man to live on. And next, we're going to adhere our little sentiment. So I stamped Sugar and Spice Make Holidays Nice. And I cut it out just in a little strip. And then I cut a wider strip out of our red stop sign cardstock. And we're going to put that down like so. And I'm going to go ahead and use our 1/4 inch Easy Tear tape, because my tape runner just ran out. Don't they always find the perfect time to run out on you? No worries, I've got some Easy Tear tape here, and this will hold it just fine. So I'll add my red strip first. And then we'll add the sentiment. Right in the center. Very cute. Now we just have to add our gingerbread and our hearts. I'm going to put some foam tape behind our gingerbread. Just pop him up off the card a little bit. There we go. And embellish with some hearts, which I also think I'm going to add foam tape. So that they pop off the card a little bit. Trim the corner off that one just a hair. There we go. And then let's figure out the perfect placement. I like that there. Let's see. Maybe I can balance and put the larger one. And there's our third card. Thank you so much again for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed these 3 cards we made with the Sugar and Spice holiday stamps, dies, and more. We made some traditional holiday Christmas colors with reds and greens and golds, and then we snuck in some non-traditional blues and greens, a little lavender, and some silver. You can find all these items at pinkandmain.com or ask your local retailer. And until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life.